Good evening. Good evening, and thank you so much for coming and joining us this evening. I know you're all going to stay through the entire meeting, so you learn everything happening with Board of Education. You're welcome to stay. So I would like to call this meeting, this is our January regular meeting. I'd like to call it to order. May I have a roll call, please? Here. Thank you. Would you all please join me in the pledge to the flag? Adopt tonight's agenda. May I have a motion to adopt the agenda? May I have a second? Have a roll call? Thank you. Next on our agenda is recognition of the public. We do not have anyone signed up who wishes to speak this evening, so we're going to go right on to what you all paid for and what we're so excited about. Special recognition of first semester.
All right, welcome everyone. We're going to shift things around to get us set for the night. I just want to say thank you for coming here today. My name is Tim Weber. I'm the superintendent, proud to be the superintendent here at Wyoming City Schools. And this is a special evening at our January board meeting and our May board meeting. We take time to recognize students and staff for incredible accomplishments that have been made during the semester. So we're doing a little bit of a rewind back to the first semester to celebrate, again, our students and our staff for these incredible accomplishments that we've seen. We do this again twice a year, and we talk about how special Wyoming is. It's an incredible school district. And it's the people of Wyoming City Schools that makes this district work so well. It's our students, it's our staff, it's our families, and it's our entire community. And it's great to just press pause and say, great job for some of the things that are happening. And again, this is just a small snapshot of the many things that are happening throughout our district. So again, we're taking time to press pause and to celebrate these incredible accomplishments. And it's wonderful to see our youngest students, our primary students, our middle school students, and our high school students and our staff members who are being recognized. So I'm excited for you to be here, to be part of the occasion here today. So how it works is we'll start with our primary school. So Dr. Kirshner in a second is going to come on up, and then she will begin the recognition process. And so when she calls someone up, we'll have everyone come on up here. So students, when you come up, you'll come right up here, and we'll share what you're being recognized for. And then, yes, we do ask that you pass the microphone along, and all you have to do is share your name. So we ask that you introduce yourselves. I promise no more than that, unless somebody puts you on the spot. So hopefully they give you a heads up in the morning if they're going to put you on the spot for that. And then after that, we'll exit this way, and then our board members will be able to give you a special individual recognition, again, and a thank you for the incredible work that happens each and every day. All right, are we ready? Okay, Dr. Kirshner, I invite you to come on up. Dr. Kirshner is the principal of our primary schools. Let's hear it for Dr. Kirshner.
Good evening. It's so fun to be here to recognize some of the great things that are happening in our primary schools. Let's go ahead and start by having our members of our first grade team come on up. These ladies are two members of our first grade team who have done an amazing job raising money for Ronald McDonald House this past December with our first graders. They raised $1,118.40 through chores that first graders did at home, and were able to purchase 75 gifts for Ronald McDonald House. So I'm going to have them tell you a little bit about that.
And this project started with Julie Rausch. She just retired last year, and Chloe is now my teaching partner. big shoes to fill, but she has taken this project on for us. We have done this since 2007. We had a parent who is the CEO at Ronald McDonald House now, Jennifer Goodwin at the time, and we started out just having the kids do jobs and for responsibilities. It was like a chore chart, and then they could donate their money. Then it became wants and needs and goods and services, and we just made this huge project out of it. It has been wonderful to see them volunteer to help. I've had students raise leaves for neighbors and earn money. It's just amazing what they did. But we have had such a huge result of just these big donations every year to the Ronald McDonald House from our primary students across all the 3 schools. So we're just here representing for all the first grade teachers. It started out with Julie Roush and then Hilltop, and then we branched out to all 3 buildings, and it has been tremendous. So Chloe's going to tell you what we're doing.
So I'm Chloe McBrider, and I teach at Hilltop with Emily, and so we wanted to keep this tradition going. So in 2021, we raised $1,400, and then in 2022, we raised $1,400 again, and then as Gina said, this year was around $1,100, and so that was with one last class, and we were still really impressed with all the kids' hard work and donations, so that's a bit about our project.
Let's give our first grade team a hand. Okay, up next, I would like to acknowledge our assistant principal, Dr. John Hill. John, if you would please stand. This is not, we are way outside of Dr. Hill's comfort zone here, just to acknowledge that, but we couldn't let this opportunity pass because our assistant principal, Dr. John Hill, completed his doctorate in educational leadership. He successfully defended his dissertation titled Hope and the Strategies Elementary School Teachers Use in Their Classrooms this past December. I just want to acknowledge what a tremendous asset Dr. Hill is to our primary schools and the broader district. And we are so proud of his accomplishment. So let's give him a hand. And then if I could have finally the members of our standards-based report card committee come to the front. Why don't I have you guys just introduce yourselves, and then I'll take the mic back and tell a little more.
I'm Jen Kramer, and I teach 3rd grade at Bell.
Hi, I'm Erin Wood. I teach 4th grade at Vermont.
Hi, I'm Erin Huntley, and I teach kindergarten at Vermont.
So these teachers are just a few representatives from a larger committee that we call our standards-based report card committee. This committee actually is part of a 2-year project here in the primary schools where they took the lead to write and then support implementation of an entirely new report card process for our primary students that we feel is giving our parents a lot more detailed information. Over the course of the 2 years, this committee was responsible for writing the report cards and identifying the critical standards for each grade level and subject area, which took us months and months to come to consensus on and make sure it was high quality and really usable for families. They identified a marking system that would make sense and help our families get an idea of where their students were in relationship to mastery of each of the things they're learning about in the primary schools. And then on top of that, this year, they've been really taking the lead in helping support all of our primary teachers as they make the transition over to doing this new reporting system. And they put themselves out there and did parent presentations and even made videos to help parents as they navigated reading and using the report card for the very first time. So again, this is just a small group representing that committee, but they've done such a tremendous job. All right, and with that, if you would please give our
Okay, so next we have some middle school recognitions taking place. So Dr. Boshin is here with us for his first year, and we're super excited to have him in place, and you'll see some, again, of the great things happening here at the middle school. Dr. Boshin.
Good evening, everybody. We have two groups that we'd like to recognize from the middle school this evening, and we also wish to recognize a high school senior who made some significant contributions here at the middle school as well. Each day, our students are reminded to strive to seek high standards of integrity, community, and engagement. And the students that we are recognizing this evening really did a nice job this past semester in working to improve conditions for people in the greater Cincinnati area. And their faculty advisors, Mrs. Christner and Mrs. Osborne, intentionally promoted acts of service for their students. So at this time, I would like to turn it over to Mrs. Christner.
Okay, so my 6 kids can make their way up here. Thank you so much for inviting us here this evening. My name is Julie Christner, and I teach 5th grade Cowboy Bell this year. Started that this year. So 5th grade Cowboy Bell is a STEAM-based class. I like to add that A in there because I like the art part of it. And along with that, I have been asked to teach the social emotional learning curriculum, and part of that curriculum is service learning. And when I saw that, I knew immediately that I wanted to partner with an organization called Project Connect. I have a very personal connection with Project Connect. Project Connect is a grant-funded program within Cincinnati Public School District that serves students experiencing homelessness. My daughter Rebecca is a homeless liaison with Project Connect, serving about 20 of CPS's 65 schools. Rebecca and her supervisor, Rhonda Lewis, came to talk to my students about what it means to experience homelessness. They shared that the definition of homelessness that the McKinney's Vento law uses is a person who lacks a fixed, regular, or adequate nighttime residence. They talked about how they like to use that term, experiencing homelessness, because homelessness can happen at any time to anyone, and it's not necessarily a permanent situation, which the students, when we talked to them, they came up with that idea that it's not necessarily a permanent situation. They also shared that there are about 35,000 students in Cincinnati Public Schools, and that Project Connect serves about 3,500 by the end of the school year. So approximately 10% of students in CPS are experiencing homelessness. I wanted to stick to our STEAM slant, so I decided to have the Cowboy Bell students create e-cards using their gifts and talents, and to sell for $1 each. So all 126 5th grade Cowboy Bell students at the time made an e-card using Google Slides. We voted the cards down to 6 cards that we would sell here at Wyoming Middle School. So would you hold yours up here as I hold them up, okay? Way up high. We have a thank you down there. You are awesome. You are totally awesome. You rock. You rock Shrek. And another thank you here. So we sold the cards for 3 days at all lunches. The kids sat at the tables. We had, I want to tell you that we had 36 7th and 8th graders also, and 72 5th grade Cowboy Bell students offered to give up their recess to sell the cards. Emily Cowan, our instructional design coach, was extremely helpful with this project as well. In the end, we sold 243 cards and raised $420 for Project Connect. That money will likely go toward coats, hats, gloves, school supplies, or enrichment activities for those students experiencing homelessness. I look forward to expanding our project next year, now that we know all the ins and outs.
My name is Rudy Finnegan. My name is Elijah Patton. Hello, my name is Amar Ulrich. My name is Val Hoffman. My name is Caitlin Marsh. My name is Annabelle West.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
And next, I would like to turn it over to Mrs. Teresa Osborne.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Teresa Osborne, and I teach 6th and 7th grade math here at the middle school. And I'm also the advisor for student council. And each year, the student council feels strongly that we need to do a community service project. And this year, we chose to support the organization called Upspring. And the student council members wanted to go ahead and describe what Upspring organization is to you, and our plan of action and what we did and accomplished.
My name is Clara Streets. Upspring is committed to facing the challenges of homeless children. Nearly half the children in the greater Cincinnati area lives in poverty, between the second and the fourth worst rate in the country. Many of these children are homeless, and the odds are struck against them.
Upspring is committed to helping kids thrive. As the region's only nonprofit exclusively serving the education it's working? Okay. As the region's only nonprofit exclusively serving the educational needs of children and youth experiencing homelessness, Upspring provides these students with the consistency needed to achieve academic success and become well-rounded, active participants in their community. A consistent education breaks the cycle of childhood homelessness and elevates kids, families, and communities.
My name is Eve Carmichael, and Upspring is committed to transforming outcomes. Their mission is to empower children experiencing homelessness in Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky by providing opportunities through education and enrichment. Their vision is to positively transform our communities by breaking the cycle of homelessness and poverty. Each year, Upspring empowers the lives of over 4,000 children experiencing homelessness in our region. Since their founding in 1998, they've elevated more than 45,000 children experiencing homelessness.
My name is Andrew Woods. So I would like to inform you what Student Council did to help Upspring. We thought it would be a good idea to collect personal care items for the homeless children. We collected around 2,440 personal care items. In order to get a wide variety of items, each grade was assigned a different type of hygiene products. For example, the categories included shower products, paper products, oral hygiene products, and hair products.
As a way to motivate the students, Student Council turned it into a competition between homerooms to see who could raise the most items. The award for this competition was Donut Party, and we did it once before towards the beginning of the fundraiser to award the homeroom who was in the lead at that moment, and to motivate the students to bring in more stuff. As well as this, we had offered this award towards the end, and we gave it to the top 4 homerooms who had the most items. Mr. Allen's homeroom, 6th grade homeroom, won this competition overall with a grand total of 356 oral hygiene products.
My name is Landon Walters. After we collected all the personal care items, we counted them and stored them into boxes based on what they were. Then we loaded them into boxes into cars of people who volunteered at the organization Upspring. All of the items were not fit into just one car. It took 2 cars total, and we are so glad that we were able to collect all these personal hygiene products for the organization Upspring. They were grateful that we donated all these items to help the homeless children of Greater Cincinnati.
All right, I'd like to give it back over to Dr. Motion.
And thank you again for your service. We appreciate the Student Council. Thank you. And the last individual that I would like to recognize this evening I don't believe he was able to join us. Tari, if you are here, Tari is a senior, Tari Jackman, who is a senior at the high school. Earlier this year, he approached myself and our operations director and informed us that he was working on his Eagle Scout. And one of the things that he needed to do was to do a service project. And he proposed building a Gaga ball pit for the middle school students. Gaga ball is very popular among middle school students, so I thought it was a great idea. And Tari not only provided all of the materials, and his time, and he also provided all of the service that was needed to construct the Gaga ball pit. And it has since become a fixture out on the playground, and it's one of our most popular things to do out at recess. So I wanted to thank Tari for his service towards his school community as well. And at this time, I'm going to pass the mic back.
All right, and we'll have our athletic director, Mr. Matt Weber, come on up. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. We've had a very successful fall season, and wish I could have everyone on fall teams out here because they did an outstanding job. But just want to highlight a few things. First off, at the high school level, we had 52 all-league honors, either first team, second team, third team, or honorable mention this fall. We celebrated them with a big breakfast on behalf of the Wyoming Athletic Boosters, so that was a great turnout. So 52 all-league. Of course, we had a lot of individual accomplishments as well. We had 2 programs we sent off to state championships, so our boys golf team and an individual cross-country runner. So we celebrated them in fashion. And of course, we had a couple league titles. So first team I'd like to recognize from the middle school is our boys cross-country team. So coaches and players, if you could come up here, we'll celebrate you. Back-to-back CHL championships. All right, Coach.
All right, we got our middle school cross-country team, boys up here. I'm Paul Schwartz. I was one of the coaches, and Randy Knox, coaches for the middle school cross-country team. They definitely exceeded expectations this year for a couple of reasons. One, I don't know if you guys know about cross-country at the middle school level. It's 2 miles of running. Not all 12, 13, 14-year-olds are very excited about doing 2 miles of running all the time. We have to compete with a lot of other activities, as you can see. Wyoming Middle School, I've had 3 kids of my own go through Wyoming Middle School. A lot of activities that they compete with that draw their attention to: soccer, baseball, football, lacrosse, the academic programs. So it's very hard to win the championship like these guys did. They actually won it last year, and it was the first time since 2011. So it's been a long time, and a lot because of the middle school has so many different activities that kids can do, and it's hard to get kids to come out and do this. But they also last year when they won it, 8 of the 10 best runners were 8th graders. So they were kind of starting from scratch. Middle school cross country is a 7th and 8th grade sport, so only 7th and 8th graders can do it. So we kind of started from scratch, only had 2 7th graders returning. But the beauty about running is that it can be a couple things. One is it's distance running. It can be an individual sport, individual academic, individual achievements can be accomplished, which is great. But it also can be a team sport. And I think these guys took it to heart and made it a team sport. And what they did was they went out and recruited some other people to actually run with us. Some kids had never run before. And so that really helped. The way cross country works, it's 7 runners. We at the CHL meet, we had the first, second, and third place overall, which was unheard of, which was great, with Brandon Luby, Ben Autry, Mac Lenning. They went first, second, and third. But the key to winning a championship is the 5th, 6th, 7th graders. And what the middle school kids did was they recruited other kids to join, got them excited about it, and focused on the team aspect, and really wanted to have those 5th, 6th, and 7th runners be really important, realize their importance, not just the top guys in accomplishing the team championship goal. So congratulations to these guys. Next year, the girls have not won since 2012, so we're going to win for the girls next year and keep the wins going for the guys. Congratulations.
I'm Kyle Chevrolet. I'm Luke Selak. I'm Ben Horn.
I'm Jack Swall.
Congratulations again, once again, back-to-back CHL champions. Our next group is both at the high school and the middle school level, is our cheerleading program. Had great accomplishments in our CHL competition this fall. So with the high school cheer program and middle school cheer program, come up here. We'd like to recognize you. Both squads were first place. And then we had an individual, which I allow the coaches to kind of share with you the competition structure and how everything was awarded. But again, we had champions at the high school and the middle school level and 2 individual champions at the CHL competition. So congratulations. I'll give the mic first to Coach Christie, varsity cheer coach.
Hi, everyone. Actually, the coaches, we can announce the coaches first. And then Coach Roshan. Coach Leslie. Coach Shigley. And I'm Coach Christie. Hi, everyone. First of all, please do not pay attention to our attire. We just got finished practicing. They are very nice. We're not. Okay, they just had a game. First, I want to tell everyone thank you, the people that I have personally spoken with. This is our first year here with Wyoming, our first year with the school, first year in the district. I want to tell every one of you thank you, the ones that I've personally had a chance to speak with. I definitely appreciate the warm welcome that we've received. It makes things a little bit easier trying to slide in and take over where the past coaches had left off. Good thing is they left a very good foundation. So we were able to come in, get started, take off. First, high school and middle school won first place in their respective categories. So congratulations, ladies. Claire, with the red hair, and Michaela, please come up front real quick, ladies. These two also won individual awards. Michaela won the tumbling award, and was yours tumbling also? And Claire's was tumbling also. So we are making the strides towards something great. Thank you, ladies, for all the hard work, all the time, the effort, the dedication, everything that you all have done, and it definitely shows. Would you like to say something about middle school before they introduce themselves?
I'll be brief. This is my dynamic middle school squad. Hard workers, good cheerleaders, good students, and good role models. And I am definitely proud of all of these young ladies here. Some of these young ladies have never cheered before, but they did an excellent job at the competition and still are doing an excellent job cheering. Okay. And I'll let you introduce yourself.
This was our captain, and we have 2 other captains, Kaya and
June Esslinger. Ava Newforth.
Frankie Moore,
Kaya Rockland. Lila Walters.
Sydney Smith, Stephanie Gooch, Aurora Sorrell,
Stella Erickson. Addie Luther.
Claire Holdren,
We actually had 8 teams that participated for the high school squad, but this is who's here today.
Hi, I'm Lee Williams. Hi, I'm McKenna Racy. Hi, I'm Lexi Hutchins. Hi, I'm Lennon Williams.
I'm Michaela Strong,
Hi, I'm Olivia Boston.
I'm Kenzie Weber, I'm Cece Allen.
Congratulations, ladies, on the great cheer squad in the fall season and doing an outstanding job this winter cheering on our programs. Our next program that we'd like to recognize, of course, happening under the Friday Night Lights. Our varsity football team, our captains Quade Howard and Deuce Wiley. Mrs. Wiley is here to replace Deuce is on a visit, so hoping for great news there. But again, the varsity football team surpassed and set a new state record with 75 consecutive wins regular season dating back 2015. So again, congratulations to all the members of the football team, not just this year, but in the past since 2015. 75 consecutive regular season wins is unbelievable. So job well done to the Wyoming football program. On top of that, they were regional runners-up. So they one game away from state Final Four. So again, another great season. Our next group, speaking of good seasons, varsity cross-country team, Coach Frondorf and the regional qualifiers are here. Let's give them a round of applause. So the cross-country program, this was an individual runner as well. We got to send off, so you'll hear about her accomplishments, but it's two-time state qualifier, Meredith. But again, we had a great cross-country season and great coaching. So, Coach, here you go.
I'm Jim Frondorf, and I am the varsity cross-country coach. Tonight we're recognizing the regional qualifiers, which is actually 8 girls, many of which couldn't be here tonight, and one guy who qualified as an individual. But we have Roxy Sorensen and Meredith Guest. As Mr. Weber said, Meredith also qualified for state for second year consecutively. And I would say about these two and those that aren't here, like as a coach, I'm just super proud of all of them and impressed by, like every day they show up and do the work that makes them better, and they show up and do that work often with a smile on their face and minimal complaining, even on the terribly hot and miserable days that we sometimes face. As a coach, it's interesting because like to see where they start as a freshman and where they grow, what they grow into as a senior, is always such a really interesting journey. There's so much growth that comes with the sport. And I think another thing that's true of both Meredith and Roxy and all the others is, like, if you're going to be a runner, there's a lot of intrinsic motivation. Like, you do the sport because you want to see how hard you can push yourself and how much you can grow and how good you can become. And certainly these two have exhibited that, and all their teammates as well. And the really cool thing about that is that I think that both Roxy and Meredith are seniors and will be moving on, but I think they're set up for future success, just based on the fact that, like, the things they've done here, the work they put in, the commitment they make is going to serve them well later in life as well. So I'm proud of you two and proud of all their teammates for sure. Thank you.
The last program we'd like to recognize from the athletic side is our boys varsity golf team, Division II state runners up. Come on up, boys. Head coach is Scott Webb. In case anyone didn't know, they play golf very well. Just a few comments there. Of course, boys varsity team, state runners up, Division II this year. We also had an individual state champion, Finley Bartlett. So he outbeat everyone in the state of Ohio. So here's Coach.
I appreciate it. Really quick, this is the third year in a row these guys have been to the state championship. We've got 2 seniors on the team that we're going to lose, and it's going to hurt us greatly. But next year, I still have a feeling that we're going to make some waves and do well. What do you guys think? Yep. So this year was a great year. Real quick, we had a player that averaged, if anybody plays golf, usually 36 is the par. Well, this year I had a player that averaged 33 point something all season and ended up at the end of the year with a 34, and verbally committed to Ohio State. How about that? As a junior, so having that on your team makes my life a lot easier than most. But this year we had, more important, we were just as good off the course as we were on. I think every player on my team was CHL Academic All-League, which is, I mean, I'm not ever having to go in there and fight for them to make them eligible because they're doing it themselves. So we got great grades. They're great people. They don't talk back to me and say, I can't be at practice or whatever. They're there before I'm there. So that's special. This team is special. This year, this team won they won the sectional. They came in second in district, and we came in second in state. And the team that beat us in state beat us in district. So one team beat us. So it was pretty darn good. I'm proud of these guys. Our seniors that we're going to lose is going to hurt us, but man, Hagen stayed with me for 4 years. Hagen Kaler, awesome guy. They're all great. You can't go wrong with the kids. We had 8 players on the varsity team this year, and then I didn't know how many kids were going to show up for tryouts, and we ended up with 24. Yeah, so we had to keep two JV squads this year because thanks to our leadership from everyone, Coach said, Mr. Weber said, hey, we don't want to get rid of anybody. I want to grow this program to as strong as it can be. So you know what? We said, all right, that's fine. We'll keep everybody. We didn't cut one person this year. So I can't wait for next year because I think we're going to have more. I think Wyoming's going to be strong. We're really supported by not only a lot of people in this room, the school, the board, the golf club supports us heavily. And not only that, we've got people that went to Wyoming that played on our golf team years ago, and they are the pros at Clovernook, and they said, you guys can come on over and do whatever you want over here too. So by these kids, maybe someday they'll be running the show at Wyoming or Clovernook, and they'll say, hey, come on over and play at our place. So I'm very proud of everything we've done this year. I can't wait for the progress that they're making at the Champion Center for us. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to have a little bit of fun in there and have some indoor facilities for the golf team finally, and I love it. So I'm so proud of these guys. It can't be. First, before I forget, I want to give this plaque. I can't do it one-handed. This is the first team All-Ohio Award. I just got this. This goes to Finley Bartlett. Second year in a row, he's been all Ohio, so that's pretty amazing. Can't say much more than what I've said. I really appreciate your all's support. Thank you.
My name is Finley Bartlett.
My name is Hank Taylor.
My name is Spencer Lind.
I'm Charlie Steve. I'm Jack Webb.
I know that somebody's swim practice tonight, trying to win a CHL championship, so let's go.
Again, congratulations to the golf team, and congratulations to all of our fall athletes, both that are here and not here. Outstanding season. I now want to introduce our head principal at the high school, Mr. James Stallings.
I'll give another round of applause to these young men. If I can I please have Michelle Castleman, if she's here, Rhea Jane, Joby Wheelan, and Abby Rosenberg come up to the stage, please. I'm going to start with Ms. Wheelan. Madame. What can I say? She's a go-getter. She's passionate. She's warm. She's a professional, and she's now a doctor. She just recently completed a doctorate, University of Dayton.
A lot of hard work and dedication goes in. She's always here. You couldn't even tell if she was in a program because she's such a professional. She comes in every day and takes care of her kids. Nurturing, come through, ask if I'm okay. She's in the break room knocking out work early in the morning, her playing period. But everything that she does here, she does it because she loves kids. And we're just extremely blessed to have her. And I am super duper proud to have her as a part of my team. So I couldn't let this time go without giving her a nice warm welcome, thank you, and a round of applause. This right here is my buddy. I'm gonna miss her when she graduates because it is a blessing when you can have certain people that just are about the community. And what makes Miami great is that we have a lot of our kids that take initiatives to do great things. Rita came to me in September and said, hey, Mr. Stallings, I want to do a cool project. I would love to do CPR for our community in light of what happened with Damar Hamlin of the Buffalo Bills. Unfortunately, they couldn't seal the deal and win the other game. But it was such a great gesture, and it was much needed. As we talk about being able to be safe in our community and to do things that would challenge everybody to come out and have awareness. She headed this project. It was a tough road. She got to see what it's like to work with other people and actually schedule something, but it paid dividends. And in October, I think it was on the 13th, I believe, we were able to get people to come up here to get CPR training and really to raise awareness. And it was the first of many partnerships we'll probably have with the American Heart Association. And I'm extremely proud of her and thankful for her taking this on as a senior. So thank you so much. I say a lot of things about Ivy, but outside of having a great personality, which we all got to see on the senior trip, this young man is dedicated to his studies. He's dedicated to being a great person and just being a great student. Amongst his peers, he's one of the fan favorites because of his personality. Even I got to give him props on what he did with his parking spot. I mean, it was amazing. If the light would have worked, it would have really been over the top. He knows what I'm talking about. But he is our Jerome Bettis. He got a perfect ACT score with 36. So, congratulations, man. Last but not least, Ms. Castleman. Ms. Castleman is new here. She's in her first year. She's one of our special education teachers. And like Ms. Whelan, she's a true and through professional. She shows up first thing in the morning. She thinks outside the box. She's always looking for, I would say, competitive advantage for her kids in a positive way. And I love her mind. I love how she thinks outside the box. And I love what she stands for because she is about our students. And when I say students, I mean all students. And it is much needed and thankful. I'm thankful for what you do and what you do for me every day. So please give a nice warm welcome. I'll be back up in a minute because I got to pass the mic over to Ms. Anderson.
Scholarship, leadership, service, and character. I was an advisor at the previous school district, and when I came to Wyoming and started to have the time to take on a new challenge and work with kids in a new way, I was really excited about this opportunity. We're working to align ourselves with the national kind of standards of the organization and really to kind of rebrand what that means in the high school. As you can see from every single grade level, our students are super engaged. They are athletes, they are scholars, they are artists, they are musicians, they are engaged in every way possible. And so when we think about ways to tap them and even further to improving community and having the time and the capacity to do that, it's been a big challenge. Our officers this year. Our president is Emma Audrey, who wasn't able to be here tonight. Our vice president, Eva Myatt, it's not her job, unable to be here tonight. And Anushka Jane and Audrey Kleeman are our officers, and they have worked, I think, two of you, good, come on up. Have been really instrumental in trying to set a standard of what we want this club to look like, of being visionaries, of when I have crazy ideas that have not been done before and they have their own, we are able to collaborate and work together to make those happen. Seeing where we started at the beginning of the year and where we've come and how much they've grown, I'm incredibly proud of them. So,
I'm Anushka Jane.
I'm Audrey Kleeman.
I'd also like to call up Mia Marty and Cassia Grimscott. In order to become a member of the National Honor Society, these students have to have a 3.8 GPA. They have to fill out an application, which is pretty lengthy, that details their service, their leadership experience. They're then evaluated by the entire high school faculty. And then the applications and all of those scores are reviewed by a faculty council, and they make determinations if the students get in. So it's a pretty rigorous process to get in. And then once they're in, we're asking them to do quite a bit more. And so Mia and Cassia are two of the first kids that launched our tutoring program. So we offer free tutoring from NHS students that work with students that can be referred during our weekly flux periods. I can think of getting to see them they serve typically in my classroom, getting to see them with the students that they work with, exhibiting patience and empathy and care and modeling the great skills that they've developed as students, and developing friendships is like the ultimate tea. It just makes my heart gush. And so as a result of the success of a lot of those students, we've had several more that have been added to the point where we can't fit them in my classroom anymore. And Ms. Belmonte has graciously allowed us to use the RIC. So it continues to expand, and so
I'm Mia Marty.
Two of the projects that we've had at the rest of the NHS students want to come up, on those of you that are able to be with us tonight. Like I said, we have students that are super engaged. So finding ways that all of our members can meaningfully work together, engage in community, and get opportunities to improve our school in a timely fashion is kind of challenging. And so we've really made it a goal to have multiple projects per quarter, so that gives students multiple ways to engage. We had two, I think, home runs this year. We had a winter warmth drive in which we partnered with the St. George Food Pantry, which is located down in Clifton, and is associated with our friend Ms. Callahan down here. Her mom's associated with that. And it serves families that are both experiencing homelessness, but also families experiencing food insecurity, that need to be connected to other social resources in the San Bernard area, in the Clifton area, University Heights. So it serves a rather large area. We did something similar to our middle school student council, in which we had our flex classes compete to see which groups could bring in the most donations, and they were going to receive like a celebratory brunch. So Miss Marsh, one of our science teachers for flex, was the group that won. Their brunch is coming like next week. But we had thousands of items, and so it was kind of funny to see us jamming all of the stuff into one of our students' bars, and then they were taking hours to get all of it unpacked and organized once they made it down there. So these students that you see before you were really instrumental in organizing, communicating, doing advertisements, logistics, collecting everything, sorting everything. Like, I just stepped back and they took over, and it was incredible. The other project, and that's the last one that I'll talk about, is our first example of our cookies and crayon. Students usually experience a great deal of anxiety around the time of exams. They've never done them before, and that looks different for different teachers, but what we did was we had 2 nights where we opened our research and innovation space. We had refreshments and, cookies, obviously, and drinks and whatnot, and we had students from NHS that volunteered to come in and tutor, and we had a huge show out from a lot of our underclassmen in particular that really benefited from one-on-one time with our content experts and kids that have been through this and have the success strategies and ways that they can work with them. So I'm incredibly proud of all of our students that participated. You guys did too.
Hi, I'm Maddie Frank.
Hi, I'm Margaret McPhail.
Hi, I'm Jack Feldmeyer.
I'm Katie Callahan.
I'm Carter Aguilar.
I'm still up here, guys, I'm sorry. All right. When we had the opportunity to share kind of success stories, I guess it was like the end of exams. I was like, grading papers doesn't sound super exciting, but I like talking positively about all the kids and adults that I get to work with. One of the people wasn't able to be here, but I do want to speak to their contributions. If Ms. Beaumont and Mr. Eggers will please join us. I've been at Wyoming, this is year 8, and I've only ever had one student teacher, and he's standing up here with me. And a few years back, we launched the research and innovation space. They created the position of an innovation specialist, and we also had a change in regard of kind of running the hump of the research and innovation space. And I can't tell you how thankful I am on a regular basis that the people up here, as well as our innovation specialist, Mel Wyatt, have been added to the high school staff. They are a breath of fresh air. Obviously, Mr. Eggerding just continues to grow. I mean, this is a guy that's really early in his teaching career, but has created 2 new courses, multiple new courses. He is a teacher advisor for the Holocaust and Humanities Center. He is a Holocaust scholar. He developed our African American Studies class, and so adding great value to not only our social studies program, but being an advocate for students and providing representation for our students in the population, and consistently finding ways to think outside of the box and push our students in innovative new ways to demonstrate our learning. Ms. Beaumonte has a background in teaching, and so being able to, I call it like the brain trust, getting to have a teaching team, teachers in the room, you know that when you have people that are kind of on the same wavelength that can finish your sentence, that is a really exciting way to be able to come to work every single day, to plan projects in pretty much every single class that I've taught. And working with, you know, every single level of student, she meets them where they are, and Ms. Wyatt, same kind of thing. They have provided a safe space, they have brought in amazing texts and brought kids that want to read, that want to be in the space, that want to spend time there, that want to make connection with them, is a pretty incredible thing to see. So we are very, very fortunate to have them.
Hi, I'm Amanda Belmonte. Hello, I'm Andrew Egerton.
Can I have Ariana Matos, Evan Robinson, and Penelope Webb come to the front, please? So I'm gonna brag about Evan a little bit. Evan is what you would call a very nice young man, very studious, but he is a hard worker. He's always where he's supposed to be, always in class. And one thing I always say about him, I hope he's having fun, because he's just laser focused. And I think that he is exactly what we look for in a student. Through and through, he's on time and he's dedicated to his studies. So I'm really proud of him. He is here because he, along with the other 3, was recognized for the academic excellence and outstanding performance on the PSAT. He actually earned the National African American Recognition Award this year. So please clap it up for him. The other 2 that are not here were recognized, Ariana for earning the National Hispanic Recognition Award, and we had Penelope for earning the National Rural and Small Town Award. Can I please have Jasper Anderson, Madeline Dugan, Zephin Good, and Sarah Ahmedvar come to the front. y'all both together, right? She is being recognized today for her academic excellence and being named a National Merit Commended Student.
My name is Sarah Lamar.
Just like Evan, another hard worker, always on time, a leader, somebody I can count on if I ever wanted to say, hey, I need you to do something. What you all did earlier this year, I think in science, is they actually had a project they created, which is now being utilized in, I think, 9th grade science class. It was a video, you guys. You don't even know that, but this man is using that video to teach his lesson. So it lets you know just kind of how bright these kids are. Appreciate you. Last but not least, if Andrew Burns is here, Avery Feller, Carter Hagner, Avi Rosenberg, and Roxy Sorensen. That's all three of you out there. These are, why do I have to call you guys back up there? Two, again, outstanding young men. I'll let them introduce themselves again.
I'm Avi Rosenberg. I'm Carter Hagner.
Both of these young men, seniors who are extremely busy throughout the course of their day. Time and time are up at the school early in the morning for different things such as Model UN, Carter, swim practice, Ivy, several, everything. They're just constantly here, but they're constantly doing their best to make Wyoming a better place. And they're leaders, and a lot of that is because of the way they are. Just by example, through and through, and they command a presence when they walk in a room. Both of these young men today are being celebrated for being National Merit semifinalists. Like all of our students, ladies and gentlemen, they are multitaskers by nature, and a lot of them understand that where they're at right now is because of what our community and what their parents have instilled in them. And for me, I am lucky that I reap the benefits of it every day, and that's with all of our students. So I wish you all a great evening. Thank you to you all for your hard work and dedication, and everybody have a good evening.
Good to see you. See ya. You can leave the car. Or we can load it up. I got it. Sorry.
I don't
Where it's going to be. And it will pick up sound.
Take care, guys. Have a great night.
Sorry, my kid got a shot.
Do we still need to use these for the video? All right, thank you. Well, that was wonderful. Wow.
Always fun. It's great.
The next thing on our list is a policy review. Remember, we talked about the fact that I think it's been at least 5 years since we went over all of our board policies, those are the 000 policies in the manual. And this might be a good time to quickly go through. So I divided them into, I miscounted, I divided them into 6 groups. So we'll talk together tonight, and then I'll do it again next time. Then I'll pass it on. So this evening we asked you to look over policies 0100 through 0118. These are kind of the opening policies, so I don't know if there was anything too deep in this. I don't know if anybody has any questions or comments. I think the only one I wanted to talk about was 0118, philosophy of the board. The rest about definitions, that was kind of interesting. Our name, our boundaries, our address, our seal, our affiliation. If we go down to 0118,
Can I do one before you get to 118?
Absolutely.
And I think maybe Carrie can mention this. 116, in the affiliation, it says the Wyoming City School District shall be a participating member of the Great Oaks Institute of Technology with one member of the board on the Great Oaks Institute of Technology. And that actually conflicts with our policy that we changed in 2017. It's policy 0157 with the law change. So we have the correct policy where we appoint someone who is not a board member who's qualified.
Right.
And so I think we just need to make that correction in 116.
All right, so, and then,
The correct policy is 157. That actually explains with the law change how we handle the Great Oaks appointment.
are you suggesting we just do a verbiage change or reinsert, or?
I think we would just align the last half of that sentence with the appointment here. I mean, I'm happy to wordsmith that a bit. I think that that's the only thing that needs to be.
All right. And then actually, there was a period of time when the board member, one of us had to be on Scarlet Oaks. That was absolutely expected. But then they changed the rules, so it had to be someone who had business experience. And that meant you only had maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 board members who qualified for those things. Now, I believe that law has been changed yet again to make it a little more open and available. So, all right, so
116.
0116, we will make some changes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just align with 157, which is the whole policy compliance with the law.
One idea I had was to just, as we go through all of these, just make ourselves a list and then do one switch over at a time. The philosophy of the board, if we could go to 0118. One of the things about the philosophy of the board, I think it does fall right in line with everything that is important to us and the protocols we follow. But in that second paragraph, it talks about there being really 2 responsibilities for the board, one being to support and push public education, and the second one being to understand, listen to the desires, the interests of the community in which you represent, and follow through on that. And I think that's where we are. That one line, when the citizens elect delegates to represent them in the conduct of specified educational programs, they at the same time endow their representatives with the authority to exercise their best judgment in determining policies, making decisions, and approving the procedures for carrying out the responsibilities. And that's going to come up in a couple other ones later on too, but the fact that we have, as elected members, we represent this community, well, we are the ones who need to be responsible and make the decisions to keep our school district going. And then basically the three jobs: maintain a two-way communication with our community, establish policies and make decisions, and act as a truly representative body for the citizens. All right? With that, unless...
I don't know if we have the same one, Elia, but, oh, okay, on 118A, there's a part that reads, it's just maybe something we want to consider deleting. Because of changes in family, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Letter A in 0118.
Yeah, changes in family structure cause great change, and it seems like changing family structure, that's not really our concern, and do you want to explain that? I mean, that doesn't really fit with our, there could be, I don't know, maybe just reads a little bit of some bias that maybe doesn't fit with some of our belonging type initiatives. Ellie, is that what you need? Where it is?
It's in the first paragraph, the second sentence, it says, in addition, societal influences such as the change in family structures impact greatly on schools. However, despite these factors and others over which schools have little control, the need for long-range strategic planning remains critical if schools are to continue to improve. I would recommend that we actually just scratch the part up into where it says the need for long-range strategic planning remains critical if schools are to continue to improve. I think that's very true. We've done work in that area in our district that served us very well. The previous part, I think, just wasn't necessary or
Okay, I'm kind of catching up. We've gone on to the next policy, 0118.1. It was not one of the ones for tonight, but let's go ahead.
Oh, I read it as in tonight too, because I just did it.
Okay, let's do it.
118.
0118.1.
I thought it was just a subcategory.
Me too. Okay, so let's talk about let's talk about how would we rewrite that.
Just as a way to set it. Sorry, I don't have it.
Can we get you to put that verbiage down in writing and share out?
We got it. Strategic planning language.
Because the point of 0118 really truly is, I'm sorry, the point of 0118.1 really truly is to have a strategic plan. That's actually where our emphasis needs to be on them. Okay. All right. In that case, I think we are ready to move on to board committee reports. The finance committee did not meet. We are scheduled to meet after the next round of income tax.
Yes, we did not meet.
Information.
We moved our meeting, rescheduled our meeting for February 1st at 4 p.m.
All right, thank you. Citizens Advisory Committee met last week.
Met online, committees heard from Superintendent Weber on things going on in the district, and then we broke up into the committees, made putting their finishing touches on the reports. The next session is coming up in February, where we'll meet for a rehearsal of sorts, and get ready for the presentations to the board.
And so the timeline, the plan for the presentations to the board are set up for February to be student internships, March to be AI, and April to be food service. And so we'll have 3 straight months of CAC meetings where we hear from those groups at the board level.
And the next meeting, we come back together in person.
Yes, that's right. So February, March, and April will all be in person.
All right, thank you. Belonging committee. Now on the superintendent report, some superintendent committee.
Okay, we do not have an update. We did not have a meeting. Our next meeting is scheduled for January 30th, where we have a superintendent belonging committee meeting, and we'll also have a belonging and inclusion collaborative meeting, both on January 30th.
Community engagement.
Susie, I feel like she mentioned so many of them while she's getting the microphone. I'm just like, what was over the holidays from our December one, then it was break, and then January. So there's so many different things coming up. I'm gonna have you go first.
Excellent. So I'm going to talk about what we're looking forward to, and that starts tomorrow, where we're entering the course scheduling time. So we have a lot of opportunities for parents to get involved with planning for their student for next year. So 9th and 11th grade course selection will be starting. So this year, the high school, instead of having an in-person meeting, is going to put all of that information on the website and then tell people that it's there tomorrow. So that should all be there tomorrow. Also, is our CCP meeting. So College Credit Plus, that's available to all current 6th grade through 11th grade families. The counselors for the high school have made some videos to share that information so that people can access it on their own time in their own homes. And then there will be a question and answer in-person get-together tomorrow evening at 7 at the high school. But if anybody can't get there, they can always send questions directly to their student's counselor. And then we've got on January 30th, we have 8th grade course selection for our 8th grade students who are heading to the high school next year. So that will be at 7 o'clock at the high school in the auditorium. That's for families, so students and their parents. And then grade 6 has some opportunities with 7th grade to make some choices. So the parent meeting for that is February 7th at 6:30 here at the middle school. And then that weekend, we have Mamma Mia coming to the high school. So we've got our Wyoming High School musical is happening. That will be on Friday the 9th and Saturday the 10th at 7:30. And then there'll be a matinee on Sunday at 2, and that is all at the high school. All the information to get tickets is online. That is going to be high energy and fantastic. Then the rest, later in February, we will have our Black History Month Assembly on February 22nd. Due to some scheduling conflicts for leadership of that group, they won't be having an evening event, but public is more than welcome to come at 10:20 that day and see the assembly when the students see it during the day. That takes us to February 26th and our next regular meeting. That'll be back at the central office at 7 o'clock on Monday, February 26th, and then we start doing some concerts again. So on the 27th, we've got middle school strings concerts. 5th and 6th grade at 6:30, 7th and 8th grade at 8 o'clock. The next day, on the 28th, we've got high school choir concert. They added a date of February so we can get more concerts in. So February 29th, we will have our high school band concert at 7:30. Earlier that night, we are having our kindergarten information meeting. So this is very important for anybody who has a kindergartner next fall. That's when the process starts to get registered. You will learn so much at this meeting, and then the opportunity to start that online process begins that evening after the meeting. And then you go online and you share a bunch of information, you schedule your in-person opportunity to come in. Then we've got 7th grade dance on March 1st. high school orchestra on March 5th at 7:30 at the high school. And we've got middle school band performances on the 6th, 5th and 6th grade at 7, 7th and 8th grade at 8. I think that's as far as we'll go.
We can even do all the sports.
We got lots of work.
All right, thank you. Anyone else want to add to community engagement? Primary special night.
Yeah, we had a special night here at the middle school. That was on Thursday. Just a great opportunity to bring families in and partner with families to understand what happens in our primary schools. And again, it just connects with that pillar of communication. It's all about creating a partnership that results in students having great experiences in school. So it's awesome to see families come in and explore the kinds of things that happen during what we call specials. So always a great experience for those engagement opportunities.
Facilities committee.
Yep, yeah, I'll share. Lots of work continues to happen. As you know, this is a critical component of our work to identify the best plan to support students in the future with regard to facilities. And so a couple big things have happened. So on January 11th, we had our primary facilities steering committee pulled together, and they met to really discuss and talk about and explore options to engage our community in community forum number 2. We had community forum number 1, that dates back to October 30th. We surveyed our community, we worked with those survey results, and now we're looking to see how do we best re-engage the community again in that second community forum. So the steering committee met, and then after that, our facilities team met to talk about the feedback that we heard from the steering committee. And so there were a few takeaways that I thought would be important to share here, and I'll just hit those at a high level, and anyone on that facilities team, please jump in. So first, the first big takeaway from the steering committee's feedback, and you know that we've reduced from 8 options to 3 options, and I will say A1, which was K4, 3 K4 buildings, C1, which was 2 K2 buildings and 1 3-4 building, and D1, which was 1 K4 building and 2 first grade through 4th grade. I got those all correct, right? Okay. And so the feedback from the steering committee, and this comes because of challenges. It's all about option D1. And the recommendation was to remove the option of D1. And that comes about because of the challenges of transporting kindergarten students to one building, and the impact that it might have would be that there's a good chance we would have to reduce the instructional day, shorten the instructional day for those students who are participating in that full-day kindergarten program. So we thought that was problematic, and we also looked at the data from the survey results that happened in November, December, and realized that really that did not have a very strong response. So we thought it might be best at this time to eliminate that option. So that leaves option A, K4, and option C, which is the K2, 2 K2 buildings and 1 3-4 building. So I thought that was big information. The other feedback or the other takeaway that we had was that we are, again, continuing to work towards the second community forum in a mid-February timeframe. We've got a particular date picked out, but until we solidify that, we're looking at mid-February. We'll get that out as soon as we can after we solidify everything that we need to do. And then we'll have the community forum before that statistically valid survey that would follow the community forum. The job that we've set out to do is to make sure that our community is completely informed before there's an opportunity to engage in that survey. Anything else?
So there would be 2 choices that would go to the
2 options,
survey?
yep. The survey would highlight 2 options, yes. Yep. And so the task that we have is to make sure that we're getting that information out in a very clear way for the community to understand, and engage with within the community forum, and then that survey opportunity comes up after that.
And for people who have not necessarily followed every detail, we can get to that community forum on February, whatever it's a be. How will you bring everybody to the same place before you have this discussion? What those two are? You have people who are still wondering where everybody else is.
Well, I think that's part of the point of the.
Legal line here about my phone.
I'm trying to be very loud.
At the next community forum, and we talked about this in the primary facilities committee, is using that forum in addition to whatever communications that we are gonna also send to the community, using that to help people understand what each of the options in total bring to our community. So not just what are the differences between A and C, we probably won't call it A and C in the future, but also what are things that we get with both? And one of those things is all three buildings are in play. For anybody who is still wondering that, we'll just emphasize that every time that we can and help people understand the way those two different scenarios, what they have in common, and how they might deliver education a little bit differently. But they share a lot in common. Like basic square footage will be, between the two plans will be similar. So we need to take the opportunity to also list, show people in the primaries what we're trying to update. So that's it.
Yeah, the hope is to make sure that we have information out in advance of the community forum, so the second community forum is another follow-up to everything that happened in the fall, in the winter, through community forum number 1, and then really reiterating all of that information, but then zeroing in on the two options, and just like I said, exactly what that does for students, both of them in totality, either one, regardless of which option it is, but then highlighting those differences so people understand what they're looking at.
But the key focus would be on educational needs and how these choices meet those needs. Correct?
Right.
That probably still needs to be explained again.
Yep.
All right, next then, I guess we're at, planning and goal setting. There was a meeting, just last week. If you want to talk about that?
Just
Go ahead.
highlighting, we talked about 90-day priorities. This thing that we call 90-day priorities looks at our goals that we've established for the entire school year, and we zero in on where are we right now in the school year and what significant things need to happen right now. So it's just a tool that we use to monitor our progress on goals and keep us moving along as our leadership team. So that's really the biggest thing that we spoke to. We also talked about the process that we utilize to develop goals for the following year, which I'll speak to in my update because that's beginning right now. And we don't waste any time to think about what we're doing right now. How does that impact the future, and what should we already be thinking about right now as far as goals and actions for the following school year? So that process is already started.
And I think we've not quite discussed this in a board meeting, and so perhaps it's time to do so. We're the only group that doesn't have goals, that written annual goals. It may perhaps be time we have goals for our superintendent, goals for our treasurer, goals for the administrators, goals for each building. It may be time for us as well, so keep that in mind. Policy Review Committee, I presume is no report because you're not that. And student achievement.
We have we have a district leadership team meeting coming up on Thursday, the 24th, yes.
On
that Wednesday? Okay, I'm sorry, yes, Wednesday. Sorry.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to the Board of Education report. There's only one item on it. That is our membership in the OHSAA, the Athletic Association. May I have a motion to approve the resolution that's in the education report? Now, second. Roll call.
Mr. Thomas? Yes. Mrs. G? Yes. Mrs. Zoller?
Yes.
Mrs. Broderick? Yes. Mr. Feldmeyer?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Treasurer's report.
Thanks, Jeannie. Item A, approval of the minutes from December 18th and the January 8th organizational meeting. Item B, approve the statement of revenues and expenditures for month ending December 31st. Item C, accept with appreciation the list of donations. Item D, appropriations, adjustments for the month of January. And item E, approval of the report, please.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Now, second. Roll call.
Mrs. G? Yes. Mrs. Zoller?
Yes.
Mrs. Broderick? Mr. Feldmeyer?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Thank you.
Agenda report.
Okay, thank you. I have several personnel items that I'm recommending. Number one is a resignation for one of our staff members. Number two is a recommendation to approve new personnel, and this is for a recess aide at the middle school. Number three is a recommendation to approve unpaid leave for the staff member. And number four is a recommendation to approve these athletic supplemental contracts that you see on the agenda. Number five, recommendation to approve this Mount St. Joseph University stipend, and that is for the two teachers that you see on the agenda for their support of the student teacher. And again, when these stipends come in, we receive funds from the university, and then those stipends can be paid to those individuals for their support. Number six is a recommendation to approve middle school dance DJ work, and as you heard in the community engagement, we have another one coming up here soon on middle school dance. Item B is a recommendation to approve high school baseball camp, and this is for a boys camp, and this is scheduled for February 17th. Item C is a recommendation to approve the course program phase out of the course from the page to the stage, and that is connected to a decrease in student interest at this time for that course. Again, it could change over time, but for right now, that would be phased out for the current course selections for high school students. Yes?
I just have one question about that. So I saw that they're saying that it had people have been signing up, but is that course still being available? It limits our ability to add a different or a new course that would be more popular, or it just stays on the list and it never gets chosen?
Do you want to speak to that process?
So actually, Legacy Stay was approved about 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Sorry. From Page to Stage was approved about 10 years ago. It was actually the first set of electives that were kind of non-AP, that foray into non-AP, so it's been around for a while. It's actually never been offered because there's never been enough student interest. The thought process of that was really Shakespearean in nature, or playwrights, how to get that from the play to the stage. I think it's because we have such a wonderful drama program and musical program that kids just feel like that they don't have to do that in English, they get that outside of class. And so what will happen is it will come off the books. I still have the paperwork from it, so we can just keep it on file, but it will no longer be in the course guide as a running, so it will not appear on course optionings. If in the future they want to kind of phase that back in, they'd fill out another course proposal and we would bring it back. So there is a history of it, but it will come out of the course guide as a running.
Thank you. When I was reading through the document, I just wasn't sure if it being there is in the way of us offering something else,
No,
or if
it's
was
gonna
in
come out,
connection.
and so there'll be a history, like I said, kind of in my office of like, hey, this once existed in case anybody ever saw it, it won't take the place up.
Thank
Won't
you.
be a place up.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the superintendent's report? I'll second. May I have a roll call?
Mrs. Zoller?
Yes.
Mrs. Broderick? Mr. Feldmeyer?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas? Mrs. G? Yes.
All right. It is time for the superintendent's update.
Just a few things. I know what time is it. We're good. Okay. So just a few quick items. number one is a thank you to our Board of Education for allowing the structure of recognition that happened tonight. And so it's great to have this opportunity in January, in May, and again, it is just a snapshot of the incredible things that are happening throughout our district. And Mr. Stallings did a great job at the end to really hit some of the highlights. You know, our students excel in the classroom for sure, but they are leaders well beyond the walls of the classroom in so many different ways. And you saw some of the ways that happens and some of the ways that plays out in the board meeting tonight. Just truly, truly incredible. With that said, everybody, since it was getting a little bit late, people snuck out of here. I had one more recognition to share with them, and that is to recognize the tremendous efforts of our Board of Education. January, yes, let's give it up.
Saving the best for last.
Yes. So January is Ohio Board of Education Recognition Month. Okay, but we talk about leadership all the time. We talk about the fact that leadership matters. I say it every single time. And truly what I will say is on behalf of the entire district, thank you to you individually and as a team for the dedication that you put forth every single day to students, to our staff, and to families, because it is real, it is authentic, and I know that it is appreciated. Maybe you do hear it every day. Maybe you don't, but just wanted to share that appreciation is full, and it is certainly well deserved. So I want to say happy Recognition Month, but thank you on behalf of the district for all the things that you do. So appreciate it. Thank you. You're welcome. So then, shifting gears, I spoke a little bit about the planning process, and so the planning process, as soon as we get to this time of the year, we really do shift gears and we start thinking about, okay, what are the things we're working on now, and how do we grow? How do we grow next year? How do we grow down the next 2 to 3 years and out 5 years? And how do we do the work to honor the strategic plan and each pillar of the strategic plan? So that process is starting right now. Our district leadership team will be meeting and talking about bold ideas. And it's really about growth. How do we build on the success that we've had, again, and live within the vision of the strategic plan. So super excited to have those conversations, and we just want to make sure that we're super intentional about doing the things that we do and do them in a way that it makes opportunities for students to achieve to their full potential. That's what it's about. So you'll hear me talk more and more about that work that's happening. And let's see, that's my update. Unless you have questions about anything else.
Before you get to the vote, I did want to say thank you for what you shared. As you were talking about this group, we were laughing and joking about you acknowledging us. But this group of people really does care about our students. It really does care about the district. They care about what happens in Wyoming and it being as great as it can be. And so for me, it's an honor to serve with you. And so I just wanted to share that as well. It means a lot that this group cares collectively about what it is doing to serve you and the administrators and leaders, not individually focus on a thing that matters to one person more than the other. And so I was taught that that's how it's supposed to work 5 years ago when we joined. That's been my experience with this group, and it's a great opportunity to be with you. So thank you for that.
Thank you. On that note, am I allowed to adjourn?